everybody, welcome back to another Tuesday grilling video. And today we're going to do a little competition. This is my daughter Whitney.
Hey guys!
And we are going to compare ribs done using the 3-2-1 method on the PitBoss Pro Series smoker against
my handy dandy Instapot. Well, his takes 6 hours. Mine's only going to take like 45, and it's kind of a one and done.
All right, everybody, as we kick off this rib challenge between the PitBoss Pro Series smoker and the Instapot, let me show you how I'm going to be preparing this on the actual smoker. I'm going to start with a rack of ribs. We have both of these are identical racks of ribs, pork ribs for sure. I've taken these and I've pulled the silver skin off the back. If you haven't done that, I actually have a video on that. I'll put a link to it right up above. I'm going to start this with a little bit of rub. I've got the smoker on at 180 degrees. It's just in its smoke setting. And again, this is the 3-2-1 method, which means 3 hours on the smoker, 2 hours wrapped with a little bit of moisture in it to keep that thing nice and tender. And then the last hour open again. We can put some barbecue sauce or whatever it is we want on there. Let me show you how we're going to go ahead and season these up. I'm just going to use a, any kind of rib rub. This one happens to be a lot of Bull barbecue. Wife bought me a subscription to different seasonings, and this was this month, so we're going to use them on here. Let's start with getting the back side of the ribs seasoned. I'm just going to use the seasoning I have. Again, use whatever you ultimately want. A great rub for barbecue ribs is salt, pepper, garlic, and a little bit of brown sugar. That's always a good mix. Usually can't go wrong with that. Again, you see how dry that looks, right? Just push that in a little bit. That's looking good right there. All right, so we've got our smoker on. It's sitting at about 165 degrees. It'll jump anywhere from 165 to 180 the way we have it set up. So let's go ahead and open this up. I'm just gonna put it on the top rack directly on the grates. Not gonna cover it or anything right now. I'm also not gonna leave it on this pan while it's in there. All right, so I've got it sitting directly on the rack. You'll notice I left it hanging over the edge just a little bit. Makes it a little easier when I go to pick these up. All right, we've been hovering around 180 to 190 degrees, and we are right at 2 hours and 50 minutes. Let me kind of show you what this looks like, and then we're gonna go into phase 2 of our 3-2-1. There we go, these guys are looking good. Nice smoke on them. We're gonna wrap them up now. We'll get them nice and tender. I'm gonna go ahead and crank this up to 225 degrees because for the 2 hour session, you wanna cook them at between 225 and 250. All right, so what I like to do is use a heavy duty foil, by the way. This is a pretty light foil. You wanna make a little bit of a boat here, because we're definitely gonna wrap this and want the liquid to stay in it. Now, I'm not necessarily wanting them real good and tight on here. You'll notice some people will actually wrap this in butcher paper. You can certainly do that as well. That will get them a little bit drier and a little bit more of a bark on them. I want these to be really tender and a bit juicy, so I am gonna make this so I can actually add this liquid in. You'll notice, you see here, I've got this kind of pouched up over here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour my liquid right in here. I'm doing this a little bit less than 1/4 cup. We don't want a whole lot here. Now we're just going to go ahead and fold this right over. Again, we want to pouch it. You'll notice I'm just pinching it up here, making a little bit of a tent almost, but I want to seal it up for sure. With this wrapped up, we're just going to go ahead and open it up and put it right into the grill. I've got this set at 225 degrees. We're gonna now let this go for 2 hours. We'll be back in a little bit. So what do y'all think it's gonna be? Got your predictions? PitBoss or my daughter's Instapot version? We'll see.
All right, guys, we're back after a full 8 hours of work and an hour drive there and an hour drive back. That put me at 10 hours. And my dad still has about 2.5, 3 hours left on his. But whatever. I live on a boat and I didn't have a grill. So Instapot is the way I made my ribs. And I know people in Texas are going to kill me, but it is what it is. I wanted ribs. I had an Instapot, so that's how we made them. So I peeled the backing off of the ribs here. And then I'm gonna show you our seasonings, but basically what I'm gonna do is put beef broth in the bottom of the Instapot so it has more flavor and it has the liquid in there to be able to help cook the meat itself. And then I've also added Kinders and McCormick grill smoke stuff together with salt and pepper in a little dish. I haven't mixed it yet, but it's all in there together. And then we're gonna dump everything in there, set it and forget it for like 45 minutes and that's it. All right, guys, so I'm gonna pour in the beef broth here. And this is just regular old Swanson's beef broth, nothing special about this. We're just gonna pour. Oh boy. And then we're gonna just rub it all in.
Over here. Yeah, right here. Hey, do me a favor. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more like it, subscribe to the channel and click on that little bell notification so you get notified of new videos. Thanks.
So now we are going to put our lovely little ribs in the Instapot. If I can pick it up. And we're gonna do meat side out. We're gonna carry this very carefully over here and then we're gonna twist around the trivet that I have in here. Get in there, little guys. And then in a second, we're gonna pick up these little mats. We're gonna make sure we got all that seasoning in there. All right, guys, so now we're just gonna go hit pressure cook and we're gonna change it. I normally start at about 30 minutes and then if I need to add a little bit more time, we can do that. So that's what we're gonna start here. And then you also want to make sure your valve is set to close so it does not let any of the air out and it builds and keeps the pressure in there. That's what helps the ribs absorb the beef broth and make it good, delicious, and tender.
All right, so it has been another 2 hours. We are now at a total of 5 hours. If you recall, we had wrapped these ribs up in foil, and ironically enough, my daughter's back from work. She's already put her ribs in. They just have about 3 more minutes in the Instapot. Let me show you what this looks like as we open it. All right, we'll open this guy up. And as you can see, we're just gonna unravel this a little bit. And this is exactly what we want to see. I'm gonna try to keep this from leaking out. But we want these bones to be pulled back a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch or so. That's usually a good indication we're getting nice and juicy on these guys. So I'm now just going to put these right up here on this top rack. Whew. All right, we're now going to go ahead and leave this at 300 degrees for about another hour. All right, so another hour has gone by and these look great. Let me show you what they look like. Again, 3, 2, 1 method. 3 hours, low and slow for smoke, about 180 degrees. Then you wrap it, add a little bit of brown sugar if you want. We didn't here. A little apple juice or some kind of a liquid. We used a little bit of red wine vinegar and water. You want and a little bit of butter. It's always good to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. Wrap it up in a pouch and then cook it for 2 hours. You can do that in a tinfoil pouch to keep them real moist, or wrap it in butcher paper to establish a bark and a more dry exterior. Then after 2 hours, take them off, crank the heat up to 3 to 350, and then you want to go ahead and cook them for another hour. This is when you might baste them with sauce if that's what you're interested in. We didn't here, so what you're about to see is just coming out of the wrapper and sitting on the grill for the last 50 to 55 minutes, almost an hour. All right, we'll open this up, and man, just take a look at these guys. All right, here you go. This is the top side. Kind of show the bottom side there. Look at how the bones have pulled out of that. And that's what we want to see, is those things are nice and tender. So let's take these inside. And by the way, I hear the pressure releasing on the crock pot or the Instapot inside. So we'll see what my daughters look like. We'll compare the two.
I'm gonna get you.
All right, guys. So we put these in for 30 minutes. We naturally released them, and then I came out here and I finished the rest of it. Opened it up, and they didn't look quite done, so we went ahead and put them in there for another 20 minutes, and then I was super impatient, and I just released it myself because I'm really hungry. But now we're gonna take them out, see what they look like, see who won. Yeah, these are gonna just fall right out of here. Ouch, that's really hot. Okay, well there's half of it, a quarter. Ooh. I mean, mine are falling off the ribs already, so does that mean I just automatically won?
No, it does not.
No. Whoopsie. So what we have here is the one that's closer to y'all is from the PitBoss. This one back here is from the Instapot.
All right, so it's time for the big test. So we will cut one of these from each rib. There's already trash talk going on. I don't know if you guys can hear the whispering on camera or not.
It's not trash talk.
I'm just gonna cut a couple of pieces off each one.
What are you doing? Are you having trouble with yours?
Not at all. I'm just trying to get pieces big enough that each of us can munch on.
Oh.
Yeah, just cut a small piece of yours and then we'll...
Okay, I don't have to cut.
All right, somebody's showing off how easy the bones came out. I'll give you that. I don't think it came out as easy. All right, Keith, you ready, Keith?
Is this Mom's?
No.
Oh, that worked. And we'll just...
All right, give these a shot.
You're eating now?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's a little dry. I mean, on the outside, the inside's moist. All right, we're now going to try the Instapot one. The one thing I'll say about that one is it's way more tender. Way more tender. It kind of almost falls apart like pulled pork would if it was really tender. Mm-hmm. Like I'm just trying to pick it up and...
You can see like literally all the bones are just falling off. Yeah.
So I think it's more tender. You can taste the pork flavor. You can't taste as much of the rub on it, I don't think.
It tastes like
Do you think you can?
A little bit, but it's not as much as like it normally is.
Yeah.
But like I do it different every time, so. Can I have that?
Yep. So in the end, I actually don't know which one's better. Do you?
Yeah.
What?
Mom's homemade mac and cheese from my grandma.
That probably is the winner.
It's not even ribs. Bye.
So I will say, for anyone that makes this recipe, Instapot ones, unbelievably tender. I would season the heck out of them, over-season them, because you're steaming them. That's going to remove some of that additional flavor. The smoker ones have maybe a little bit more flavor on the outside, just because they didn't absorb from as much steam. However, they are definitely tougher. And I wouldn't say tough as in too tough to eat, just definitely tougher. You could eat the ones that are Instapot with a spoon, no issue. With the other ones, you would have to cut the ribs in halves and then just bite the meat off the bone.
Like a traditional meat.
Yeah, they do come off fairly clean. Somebody likes it. There you go. So they come off fairly clean off the bone. But they don't do that as easily. Let's see. If I were to try to do the same with the... let me turn it over the other way. If I were to try to do the same with this one, they're loose, but they don't come out quite the same way. Close, but not quite.
Yours look better though. They're more appealing than that.
Yeah, if you were going to present them as a whole rack on a plate, I agree. It would look better, but
they're so good.
Flavor-wise, everybody wins with this one. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video of the Instapot against the PitBoss Pro Series smoker. I wish we gave you a winner, but we're copping out and sitting on the fence.
Well, these are beef ribs. Presentation.
No, they're not.
You're right. Yeah.
Say that again into the camera.
Pork loin baby back ribs. The all new Instapot.
Instapot. I'm sorry, I was zoning out.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Sorry. I'm like, kayaks. Where can we put some kayaks?
Oh, they're tough, unfortunately. Yeah.
Then we're gonna go look at a house while he's doing that.
My daughter doing it on the. God damn it! All right, as we kick off the.
All right, guys, we're back. All right, guys. All right, guys. All right, guys. All right,
Alright, guys. Alright, guys. Alright, guys.
All right, guys.
Alright, guys.
Was that supposed to be a pun?
Oh, what is going on here? Just kidding.
And then we opened it and then we naturally. God dang. Never mind. Just. We're opening the damn pressure cooker. You're my child, you have to say I win.
Okay, listen, I let you win at the card game. You're gonna need to turn off the camera. Look at your hands.
Thank you very much.
So thoughtful he is. Okay, let's go eat.